Hello, my dears. Daniela here, and welcome to another episode of the Spa Marketing Made Easy podcast. We've got Mother's Day coming up this Sunday, so to all the moms out there, whether you've got a human baby or a fur baby, I am sending you so much love and light. Thank you for all of the caring and unconditional love that you put out there in the world to care for your little baby. So this is actually my first Mother's Day with our little man, so I'm sure I'm going to be like a weeping mess. But it will actually be happy tears and just tears of gratitude for how blessed I feel in my life. So I'm super excited and looking forward to that. But let's talk about Mother's Day and spa for a sec, because this can be one of the biggest spa holidays of the year. So moms love self-care, and getting a gift certificate to a spa is always like one of the most popular gifts to give, which is why I absolutely love running the Get 100 promo at this time. So if you're not familiar with that promo, go back and listen to the episode where I break it all down. So we'll have it linked up in the show notes for you, so it's super easy to find. And this promotion typically takes planning, just like anything. I mean, it's always the more time that you give yourself to prepare and plan and promote whatever promotion it is that you are running, the better that promotion will do. But that doesn't mean that you can't take action and pull this together pretty quickly. So if you get your cards printed locally and you're not afraid to really just kind of send out emails, put yourself out there on social media, pick up the phone and call your clients, you can really generate some cash and help those last minute Mother's Day shoppers. So be sure to keep us posted over in the Spa Marketing Made Easy Facebook group. If you are running this promo, let us know how you're doing, and know that we're here to help and support if you come up with any snafus or just like, what do I do? We are here to help you and support you in this. So please utilize that resource. But that's actually not at all what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about a topic that I actually find incredibly interesting, and just you can go so deep with the strategy, and that is paid advertising. So you guys all know I love Facebook ads, and for very good reason. But today we're actually kind of shifting courses, and we're talking about Google ads and how Google ads can help drive traffic to your business, right? That's what we want. So I've got marketing expert Deirdre Andrews on the show to break down the strategy behind using Google ads in your business. And let me just tell you a little bit about Deirdre. So she's a digital marketing strategist with 15 years of overall marketing experience. And throughout her career, she's managed millions of dollars across platforms like Google, Facebook, and Instagram. As the lead strategist with a full-service ad agency, she's designed campaigns for a wide array of brands, including Microsoft, Porsche, Audi, Ottawa Tourism, and the Ottawa Senators and Hard Rock Casino. The most fulfilling campaign she's ever worked on has been for her own family business, a dance studio. So helping her brother and his wife grow their business into what it is now as one of the top dance studios in her city was the most rewarding thing that she's ever done. So she's got this connection to small business and understanding, with why she's worked with some huge brands like Microsoft and Porsche and all of those Hard Rock Casino. She loves small business, and that's why she's kind of niched down and really focuses a lot on small business and in particular spas. So she's done a lot of work with brick and mortar spas using Google ads to drive traffic. So I'm super excited to share this interview with you. All right, so let's go ahead and play that interview. Hi, Deirdre. Welcome to the Spa Marketing Made Easy podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Well, I'm excited to have you here because we are going to have a conversation about one of my very favorite topics, which is paid advertising. Now, usually I'm talking about Facebook ads, or I'm talking about, using a vehicle like Groupon for strategy, which is a little bit different than paid advertising. But today we're going to talk all about Google Ads, which you are an expert. You've worked with a lot of brick and mortar spas, and you spend a lot of your time and energy on Google Ads. So I'm super excited to get into that today. So why do you think that Google Ads are such an important part of an advertising strategy for a brick and mortar spa?
Right. I mean, one of the things that I tell people is the primary power of Google Ads is that they allow you to target people who are already in the market for what you offer. So I definitely, believe that Facebook ads have their place, Instagram ads have their place. But in that scenario, you're targeting people based on, their demographic information or their interests. With Google Ads, you're going after the people who want what you have, and you can get your business in front of them right in that moment while they're searching for it.
Okay, so let's break that down a little bit more. So if the way that Google targets people is if someone has a search history of saying spa near me, they're going to target them with a spa ad, or
it's while they're searching. So, let's think about Facebook. You set up your targeting, and basically you're bidding for ad space among people who are interested in, spas or aesthetics or things like that.
Zip code. We do zip code a lot.
So Google is different because you're bidding on the keyword. You're bidding on the word that they're actually typing into their Google search bar while they want it.
I see. And I'm sure you probably can, but just to clarify, you can target your ad for people in your specific area, like within a specific radius?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Now, something that I have always believed, and I think that you can prove me wrong here, is, why are you going to, I like to send people to Google for reviews and really build up your presence on Google. And I've known several estheticians who've been able to get on the front page of Google organically. Why? And I say, well, why would you pay to be in front of yourself? Right?
Right.
So what's the purpose? And you kind of disagree with that because you said, I have a lot of different reasons why it would be really great for a spa owner to invest in advertising on Google, even if they're already on the front page. So let's go through some of those.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much that I disagree because I think everybody's business is different and everybody's going to have their own strategy. But you should definitely be open-minded to using, search engine marketing and search engine optimization together to really increase the visibility of your business. So, first reason obviously is if you're not yet ranking on the first page of Google. Of course, we all want to be there. There's kind of, like this joke that the best place to hide a body is on the second page of Google because nobody goes past the first page. But yeah, so you want to be there. You want to work hard to get that organic traffic because it is free. But if you're in a really competitive market, and there's a lot of competition around you, a lot of other spas around you, it can actually take quite some time to try and get to the first page of Google. So Google Ads is a really great opportunity for you to make sure your business is being seen by the people who are searching specifically for the services that you offer while you're working hard to get your organic rank up. Now, when you do make it to the first page of Google, I mean, yay, fantastic. Like we all want to be there. But the thing is, you have limited control over whether or not your website actually stays there. So Google, they update their algorithm all the time. So sometimes it's just little minor updates. Other times it's major updates that can wipe out your whole organic, search engine optimization strategy. So, oftentimes what happens with this is tactics that at one point were really, really good for improving your organic ranking can all of a sudden get you penalized. So
Like what?
typically
What would be like an example?
A really good example in the past would have been keyword stuffing.
Mhm.
So, you know, the search engine algorithm gets smarter every year, and Google also realizes when people are coming up with like hacks, people who find a way to hack the system or hack the algorithm. So at one point, having a high keyword percentage. So like, let's say you're trying to rank for facials. The number of times that the word facial appears on the page compared to the rest of the text, when that was higher, Google would take that as an indication, okay, this page is more relevant to people who are searching for facials. But what ends up happening is, people start, trying to stuff in the word facial everywhere they can within the text, and it doesn't read well. It sounds weird. It's confusing to read, and, it's not a good experience for the user. So eventually, when Google realized that people are taking advantage of this, people are actually abusing this, and it's turning into a negative experience, keyword stuffing became something that can get you penalized. So now if you go above a certain percentage of keywords on that page, that can actually lower your ranking.
So it's better to just try, I mean, like honest reviews, getting real honest feedback. I always recommend YouTube also because YouTube's owned by Google. So those videos, it seems like YouTube videos show up in the feed more than any other videos. But trying to hack something with a like quick tactic or something is never really, we're looking for like long-term strategies that can really help you stay up in the rankings.
Yeah, for sure. The thing is, though, it's not even about necessarily what you are doing. If everybody else out there is like hacking something or abusing it, then that can cause a major change in how the algorithm works. So I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but it is possible that there are businesses out there who are going to be finding ways of getting fake reviews or using bots, and it becomes a problem to the point where Google says like, okay, you know what, reviews aren't something that we care about anymore, and we're not going to factor that in to search engine ranking. So what happens when a major algorithm update comes out, so this actually happened in 2018, is you were ranking number one on Google, and then all of a sudden this update is released and you're wiped off the first page. So that actually happened to my family business. And it's not that we did anything wrong or that we did anything dishonest. It's just, the factors that Google looks at according to rank you on the first page, they just changed. And so all of a sudden we just were no longer there. So unfortunately, that was very difficult for us, and that, we were getting like 5,000 sessions on our website a month. And then, that was dramatically cut almost immediately in half. So that can be tough. And it's, and I don't want to scare anybody. So
business? Is
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My family owns a dance studio.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I do all of the marketing for them as well, and work with them on their search engine optimization. But yeah, so that was tough for us, that we were getting tons of organic free traffic from being on the first page of Google. And then, Google, the search engine algorithm evolves, they come up with an update, they release it, all of a sudden they're looking at different factors. We didn't rank anymore. And it took us several months to actually put in the research to figure out what do we need to do to fix this and to get back on the first page. And that's a lot of work. So
is that how you got into Google Ads and just digital advertising? Or you've actually had a career in haven't you been in marketing for like 15 years or some?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually I finished grad school at the same time that my brother and his wife opened their dance studio.
Okay.
And I got into software marketing, and that was when I really started learning about digital. And then I was just like, hey, I can use everything that I'm learning about digital in my career and apply that to my family's dance studio so that I can help them grow. So it's been a great opportunity for me, because not only have I had the chance to work with big name clients, I've actually had a chance to work with a small business that means a lot to me. So I'm very much invested in their success. And I've had a great opportunity to see what works well for small businesses.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay. So we talked about, using ads to get on the first page. And then if you're already on the first page, talked about the risks of algorithm changing, which is why that's another good reason to use paid advertising. Did you have another reason?
Yeah, I got lots of reasons.
Lots of reasons. All right.
Lots of reasons. Yeah. So again, I don't want to scare anybody and make you think that like, oh my God, all of a sudden tomorrow Google's going to wipe me off the first page. But having your Google Ads campaign running at the same time just allows you to be in control, because you don't always have control over, what you're ranking for. And, speaking of what you're ranking for, when it comes to where you sit on the search engine results page, there's no such thing as just being like ranking number one overall. Where you rank on the page is going to be different every single time somebody searches for something, depending on what it is that they're searching for.
So it would be, because I know for the med spa that I work with, it's like you can search Botox and the city name, or fillers and the city name, and then microneedling and the city name. And we'll come up as like 1, 2, or 3, but it's all different. It's like for Botox, we're number 1, for filler, we're number 2, for microneedling, we're number 3. Like I'm just pulling that, but it's something along those lines. So what we're worried about for brick and mortar businesses, for estheticians, is like maybe you rank number 1 for facials, but if you're focusing on, microblading, or if you're focusing on waxing, you want to be ranking on the front page for those services as well. That's what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. So Google Ads gives you control over that. I deal with the same thing again in my family's business. We always show up number 1 for hip hop dance, but we have a hard time ranking for ballet. And that can hold us back when we're trying to grow our ballet program. So the same thing in a spa, if you're showing up for fillers, but you're not showing up at all for microneedling, this would be an opportunity for you to bid on microneedling as your keyword and make sure you have an ad showing up when somebody is searching for that.
I see. So I know that Facebook ads makes people want to throw their computer out the window when they're trying to learn how to do them, which is why I always recommend hiring it out or whatever. But how does Google Ads compare? Is that something that an esthetician or small business owner can do themselves, or is it better to hire somebody to do that?
I wholeheartedly believe that every small business should at least attempt to do it themselves, just so that you have an understanding of the platform and how it works. And when you have that understanding, at least then if you do bring it to a specialist and you want to hire it out, you have information to come with. And, you're not going to get taken advantage of by somebody who might not be honest in their campaign setup, or who might not be honest about what it is that they're trying to do. So
yeah, I 100% agree. I think it's always, as a business owner, great to at least you don't have to be an expert, but at least have some level of understanding of the strategy behind what you're doing, so that you can have an intelligent conversation if you do decide to hire it out. So what would you say is an average, like the minimal budget that you would need to actually see real results?
I do think it's going to depend on how much competition is around you. When you're in a very crowded and competitive market, your cost per click is going to go up. And obviously, when you're competing with another spa down the road, that can potentially increase your cost per acquisition. But I think setting a budget, during your slow times of around $500 a month is a really great place to start.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So what about estheticians like that are just, because the listeners of this show, we have estheticians and spa owners who are very just starting out and just building their business where $500 might be a lot for them. And then we have owners that are doing 7 and 8 figures that $500 is a drop in the bucket, and they're probably spending thousands of dollars per month on advertising. So I know you're an expert in a variety of areas of digital advertising. For someone who, and I know we're talking about Google, but I just want to give some value here to like, for an esthetician who's just starting out and maybe has just a couple $100, maybe even just like $100 to spend on ads, is it worth it to look into Google, or should they try another avenue?
I mean, I always believe that the first place you need to put your money is into your website. If you don't have your website up to par, you're not looking professional and providing a good user experience, it doesn't matter what advertising platform you use. None of them are going to get you results if the experience isn't great on the other end of the ad. So make sure your website is on track first and foremost. And I really do wholeheartedly believe that Google Ads is a really great place to start because, like I said, you're going after the people who are already searching for what you have to offer. And I definitely believe that Facebook is, valuable as well for increasing visibility of your brand. But the low-hanging fruit is the person that actually wants to get a facial right now.
Mm-hmm. That's great advice. So can I just ask you a question about websites real quick? Because, a lot of spa owners will start out with like a Wix site or whatever, they're starting out with whatever the free option is. And a lot of those templates are really dated. What happens to your SEO when you switch over your website into your Google rankings? Let's say you've been in business a couple of years and then you finally decide that you're going to invest in a website and get that up and running. Does all your SEO go out the window?
No. So the thing is, SEO is going to be, based on your link structure. So if you're moving over to a new template, a new and better looking template, that's not going to affect your SEO at all because you're still using the same link and page structure. So what I mean by that is how you list your services or your About Me page. So, website.com/about or website.com/facials. That part is going to stay the same. And as long as you, continue to keep good content on your site. So a good idea if you're hoping to rank organically is publish a blog post once in a while, because when you publish new content, Google definitely looks at that. It thinks like, this site is relevant because they're actually putting out new stuff. Make sure that one of the great things that you can do with free software or free website platform, WordPress, is there's a plugin you can use called Yoast. And at least that makes sure that you have your page titles set up and your page description set up correctly. You want to make sure you have a good title and a good page description. And you can do that in Yoast. And that means when people search for facials, they can see that you are a spa that provides facials, and you can include a description of the services that you offer. So that's going to help you in your ranking as well. But just the aesthetics of the page, changing that is not going to affect your search engine optimization.
So the real issue is if someone rebrands and changes their whole name of their business, then they're starting back over because it's the link structure that's really making the difference.
Yeah, because one of the things that Google also looks at in terms of how you rank is domain authority. And one of the things that contribute majorly to your domain authority is the age of your domain. So every year that you're in business and every year that you've kept that same domain, it's going to increase in authority because it shows that you're actually legitimate. You're not just, throwing up random new websites all the time trying to, hack the search engine results.
I see. That makes a lot of sense. So if an esthetician wants to get started in Google Ads, what would you suggest as kind of their step-by-step process to, get that going?
So Google Ads, it's pretty easy to set up an account. I think it's ads.google.com. And if you have a Gmail account, you can just log in with that. And I think the best way to get started is to break down the services that you want to rank for. So, maybe the top 3, maybe top 5 services that you want to make sure that you're showing up for in Google. And then underneath each of those services, you can write down the words that you think people are searching for. So facials in Toronto or microneedling in New York City. Mm-hmm. So you have those keywords underneath each of those services, and then you write an ad related to that service. So you want to make sure that your ad, when you're bidding on microneedling, that ad is about microneedling, not something else. So you can set those up in what we call ad groups inside of Google Ads. And that way, when somebody searches for microneedling, your ad about microneedling is going to be triggered.
Okay, that's cool. Very good. So any other advice or tips that you want to share with estheticians? Another reason why Google Ads can be great, even if you are ranking, is it allows you to completely dominate the search engine results page. So you know how when you do a Google search, the page is broken up into 3 sections? Mm-hmm. So you have your ads at the top, and then you'll have all of your local listings, and it'll show where they are on the map and the reviews. That's your Google My Business page. Mm-hmm. And then underneath that is where all of the actual websites are listed. So even if you're ranking number 1 in the middle on the Google My Business listings, you're not necessarily going to get a click, right? From somebody who's searching. They have other things that they can possibly click on. But if you're showing up in all 3 places, so your name is in the ads at the top, your name is in the Google My Business listings, your name is in the website listings underneath, you've dominated the search engine results page, you've elevated your brand. People are subconsciously going to think wow, this place must be really legit, or they must be number 1 in their industry because look, they're showing up in all 3 places. Mm-hmm. And not only that, you now have tripled your chances for getting a click from that person. Yeah, that's cool. It's definitely, I think for me, the piece that really connects is the importance of having the rankings for facials, for waxing, for lashes, like really focusing on those different types of things, because
Yep.
that to me really increases your chances of getting a booking, because someone may not just be looking for waxing, or just be, and you want to come up for all of those different services.
For sure. So it's really just about being in control. Just with organic, you're not necessarily in control of what's happening. But if you have a solid Google Ads campaign, then you are always in control. You know that you're going to show up when somebody is searching for a very specific term that you want to rank for.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. So where can people find you and follow you and connect with you if they want to stay in touch?
Well, my website is definemarketing.ca. And if you're interested in learning more about whether or not Google Ads is right for your business and how to get set up with your first campaign, I do have a cheat sheet. So just visit definemarketing.ca and you'll see the free cheat sheet button. And you can also find me on Instagram at Define Marketing Blog.
Wonderful. Well, we'll include all of those links under the show notes. So you guys can learn more about Google Ads and learn from the expert. And Deirdre, thank you so much for being on the show. I really, really appreciate your time and your expertise. And, I think this is a great way to approach Google Ads.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited talking about this stuff. So I had a great time.
Very good. So for those of you who want to keep the conversation going, make sure that you head over to the Spa Marketing Made Easy podcast. We'll be there to answer your questions and, keep the conversation going. All right. So I'll catch you guys on the next episode.